YouTube. How everybody's doing? Before I start this video, let me say I want to thank God for a new day, and for blessing me and everyone that's going to hear my voice within this video. All credit first to the God above, to the Most High above. I thank you and I appreciate you. Let me get me a sip of some coffee before I begin. That's great. And let me go ahead and share with you guys. I just got me a package today. This is another cologne that was recommended from a fellow YouTube Cubano. C to the U to the B to the A. And I can't wait to give this one a try. So fresh out the package, I'll let y'all read that so I don't goof it. If y'all can read that, how does that look? So this is the Le Parfait, the Armave, if you want to say Armave Le Parfait. So, not to drag this video out too long, actually I want to talk about a little bit of Manny Pacquiao, and I want to talk about a little bit of Errol Spence. Two most exciting fights coming up right now in the welterweight division. You got Manny Pacquiao fighting Keith Thurman, and I'm liking what I'm seeing with Manny Pacquiao in his training, everything that's being released, thanks to Fight Club, my man Showbiz Adult, Boxing Wave, Boxing Physique, Dante's Boxing Nation. Thanks to you guys, appreciate you guys. Everything that's coming out, look at that. I love that bottle. You know, this is just a little smell good on the low. You're not gonna, break your bank on this. I think it's $25 on Amazon, but it has that lock cap. Look at that. Ooh, I like that magnetic cap. I can dig that. I'm not totally clean. I need to jump in the shower. It's been a couple of hours since I had a shower. Like, about 4 hours. So I'm not fresh clean. But let me just give it a little quick sample spray. Hit it 2 times. And hit it 1 time. Ooh. Hit it other time on others. Let that dry down and see that cap, man. Let me see that cap is that the right way? I like that. That's dope. Oh yeah, man. Whew. I'm digging that. I appreciate that. Shouts out to Cubano for always coming, hitting up with the dope colognes. I want to get some other things down the line. I want to, get my game back up with my fragrances. So just knock that out the way. Let y'all know one more time. Le Parfait de Armave. Pretty good stuff, and it's not gonna break your bank. Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman. The closer this fight is coming, the more footage I'm seeing on this fight, the more and more I'm starting to think that Manny Pacquiao has a really good shot of winning this fight. When you first heard the fight announcement, before they started doing interviews and looking at training footage, a lot of people, in my mind, was leaning toward Keith Thurman, really based off of the fact that he's just a younger fighter. He's a true welterweight. He's not going to be weight drained. Never mind the fight he had with Josecito Lopez. Besides that, Keith Thurman has always pretty much showed up. So, just factoring in that Keith Thurman is younger, strong still, just most people just automatically was leaning towards Manny Pacquiao losing that fight. But the closer it gets to that fight, I'm starting to see, and like I said from the beginning, I'm pulling for Manny Pacquiao either way to win that fight. I have to lean towards Manny as a the OG, the legend. I like to see. I would love to see him go out on top. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you do have those fighters that just have to fight until they are completely dominated and forced to retire out of the sport. Is Keith Thurman going to be the one that really has the ability to make Manny Pacquiao realize that his boxing days are over? In my mind, I just don't see it. It looks like Manny Pacquiao is having too much of a great training camp. He looks in great shape. He looks like he's taking it to the brink, to the level of where he's going to come into this fight more prepared than he was for his previous fights with Adrian Broner and Horn, and he looks in phenomenal shape. Age is just a number. 40, 41 is not that old, even in boxing years. You got to take the accountability. If he's maintained, he's healthy, he's in good shape. If his mind is right, he hasn't given up on himself. He's given all his credit to God to say only God can retire me. I'm liking everything I'm seeing and everything I'm hearing from Manny Pacquiao to win this fight. And that's no disrespect towards Keith Thurman. I can't wait for that fight. And it's going to be a pay-per-view fight. I don't know if it's going to be very explosive and entertaining. Knowing Manny Pacquiao, he always has somewhat of explosive style. But all of his fights, aren't just the most. I don't expect to see Manny Pacquiao versus Cotto or Manny Pacquiao versus, De La Hoya or Manny Pacquiao versus Ricky Hatton. I don't expect to see that. I hope to see just a better version of Manny Pacquiao versus Adrian Broner and pull out this victory over Keith Thurman. I want to see him give Keith Thurman a couple of shots that put Keith Thurman on his bicycle, and then he kind of can niche out and dominate enough rounds to where Keith Thurman is not able to enforce his will, and we just look at something like maybe if Manny Pacquiao can pull out 7 rounds, 8 rounds, something like that. If he can take the first 3 or 4 rounds and just close out his show in a way to where it's not controversial. I like Manny Pacquiao for that fight. I'm pulling for Manny Pacquiao for that fight. Let's get it. Let's eat him up, Pac-Man. Now, on to the next. Keith Thurman, Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter. Of course, everybody knows we want to see Errol Spence versus Crawford, but let's not romanticize the something that might not ever happen. Let's look at what we have in front of us. And I don't want to take anything away from Shawn Porter. I think Shawn Porter is a great fighter. I give a lot of credit to Shawn Porter because to me, Shawn Porter actually is more reflective of myself being a casual boxing fan. But as far as just an athlete, what I'm saying? Shawn Porter is just an athlete, and I don't think he really had any business ever being in boxing, to be honest. So to take his career and decide to be a boxer and do what he has done, I have to give a lot of respect and credit towards that because, a lot of people give him flack because, he was a football player, and you can see the way he fights. He never has developed a style that is really, to me, boxing. He's rough, awkward, kind of unorthodox, and kind of sometimes not sloppy as Wilder, but he's wild, and sometimes his performances, they don't look that impressive because he's just not boxer that knows how to, you know, throw punches that are polarizing, that make people look at the sweet science of it. Um, he had earlier he had a little bit more knockouts in his career, a little bit more knockout power, but I think he's starting to slow down and he's trying to change his style a little bit, get a little bit more into boxing, and it just doesn't really fit completely with his genetic athletic ability. He's more of just a type of guy that can maul you, get you against the ropes, and throw crazy body shots and overwhelm you that way, and beat you mentally and then physically kind of put you down. But he's shown um, you know he can get caught. Adrian Broner in the 12th round, in a dominated fight, Adrian Broner in the 12th round was still able to catch him and put him down like a flash knockdown. And I think Errol Spence has a type of a style, a type of ability where he's going to be able to put Sean Porter down multiple times. If Sean Porter is on the attack that way and he's not, as defensive. I hear Kenny Porter and Sean Porter saying, Mikey Garcia fought a defensive fight. He just was surviving, and we're not here to survive. We're here to fight. So I don't see Sean Porter trying to fight on the outside like he did with the last fight he did. If he fought on the outside with Errol Spence, I think he's going to get dominated in a similar fashion to Mikey Garcia. Errol Spence is just built for boxing more. He's going to be having a reach advantage. He's taller. He's faster. I don't even know if the age difference. I don't know if he's younger. I'd look into that, or somebody could let me know. I know Errol Spence is just more of what you would look like as just a boxer. He's bred. His pedigree is for boxing. Sean Porter is an athlete, and there's a difference. And it would take a lot for Sean Porter to be able to overcome all the attributes that Errol Spence. Like, the biggest thing for Sean Porter in his boxing career, from my point of view, has always been his conditioning. It's never really been his boxing or his power. It's always been his conditioning. He is like, he has a tank that just is always on full, and he just overwhelms people that don't have the cardio that he has. And in my opinion, he's not going to be able to use that to his advantage with Errol Spence, because Errol Spence conditioning, if Errol Spence is in perfect shape, you know what I'm saying? If Errol Spence overlooks Sean Porter and comes in slightly out of shape, then he's going to give Sean Porter an opportunity. But if he comes in perfect shape to fight, Errol Spence's conditioning is far beyond Sean Porter's, in my opinion. If you watch any Errol Spence fights in the past, you can see in between rounds, before the bell starts, he has this very almost what's a good word for it? Stoic. He has a very stoic look about himself, where he's not almost breathing. He's not breathing all. He's just sit there. And he has that type of demeanor where you can see when he's focused in that he just has a way of he. It's hard for me to describe, but when Errol Spence is in fight mode, it's not. I can't say it's robotic. It's just, you can just tell everything is just exactly where it's supposed to be, physically and mentally, where he's not in between rounds trying to bounce up his energy. He's not breathing hard, like ready to go. In between rounds, right before that bell starts for the next round, he just kind of look back and he's just like, and that is very impressive to me, because he had just do a round and he'd sit down and he'd get up, and it's like his conditioning is on another level as far as mentally and physically. You won't even see him taking deep breaths before the next round. He almost had this very stoic look of, this is just going to work. I don't even think Mayweather was as impressive to me coming off with the coming off the stool going into the next round. Mayweather had the same type of thing too, where he just would be pretty much in the zone. Errol Spence is, to me, a version of that that's even more impressive. It's almost just like not a robot, but just, if it was a Terminator, it'd be like the newest Terminators. It wouldn't be like the old Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminators. It'd be like the new Terminators that's made out of the nanobots or whatever technology that is. So Errol Spence is just, I think, in a different class. I think he's just going to outclass Sean Porter, and I think he's going to probably drop him a couple of times depending on how Sean Porter fights. If Sean Porter comes in aggressive, I think Sean Porter's going to get off the canvas at least once. I see it going the distance, but I think Errol Spence is just too skilled, too naturally gifted, just overall better fighter, and I don't see Sean Porter being able to overcome. But I do believe that it is a pay-per-view quality fight. I think Sean Porter is a big enough name. He's done enough in his career to be pay-per-view. And Errol Spence is the up and coming. I believe he should be on a pay-per-view fight too. I have nothing against that being a pay-per-view fight. I would have liked it to be, another way, but those guys are paying their dues, and I feel like this is the future of boxing. They want pay-per-view to be dead. Some people want pay-per-view to be over, but I don't believe that's quite there yet. Got too many big fights that's on the table. So until whatever happens in the future, I still feel like if they have to do pay-per-view fights in order to collect the bigger purse, I'm all for it. Do what you got to do. So salutes to everybody watching this video. Like I said, have a blessed day. Put God first, and check out Cuban No video. Get you some ideas on some cologne to all my young men out there. One more time, Manny Pacquiao, I'm rooting for you on this fight to be victorious. Hope Keith Thurman comes out safe. Errol Spence, Sean Porter, can't wait for that fight to happen. My prediction is a Errol Spence victory. Nocturnal Thoughts, I appreciate y'all time. I'm out. Peace.